Hi, friends. It's hard to believe it. We are under 50 days. By my watch, we're sitting at 49 days till departure, which means this is getting really, really real. It just got really, really real for me. Had a phone call with our tour guide, Mick, this morning to hammer out all the details of our itinerary and what days we're going to do what and things like that. Because the things that show up in your brochure um, sometimes look really good on paper, but the logistics don't work the same way. So we rearranged a couple things. We're still going to get to all of those sites, but we may do things in a slightly different order. We also added a couple of things that weren't on the itinerary. That's just the kind of guy that Mick is. He's going to get us into a couple places that your average group probably doesn't go to, which is really cool, including the alternate site, the alternate baptismal site at of the Jordan River out in the desert, which is probably more authentically um, near where Jesus was actually baptized. Going to get to see the Jesus boat. Um, at the Sea of Galilee. That'll be an optional thing to do. It's about $6 if you want to see it that day, which I would highly suggest you do. You just hand that $6 to Mick, and he'll get us the tickets to do that. You don't need to know all that. You just need to know that it's getting really real. It's getting really exciting because, gosh, it's almost here. So yeah, we're under 50 days. Those of you that are taking the charter bus, you should have received an invoice requesting payment for that. The charter bus wants to receive one payment, so we're going to route that all through the church office here at Tremont. Many of you have already done that. For those of you that have not, it's $100, and we need to receive your payment by Christmas. So as soon as the office opens back up, we can make that payment to the charter bus. The charter bus will leave at 10 a.m. on January 29th, for those of you that like every little detail. 10 a.m. on January 29th. The bus will report to the parking lot at Camden Chiropractic at 9:30. So if you want to be here around then so we can get loaded up, that would be the best case scenario to make sure that you all are running on time um, for that. So again, that leaves at 10 a.m. It's going to take some time to get to Chicago. You know how traffic is. And then since our first flight is an international flight, we need to be there about 3 hours in advance. You should have gotten an email last week from EO about optional trip enhancements that you can do. We've talked about some of these before. On our free day, you have the option of taking an excursion to Masada in the Dead Sea to see Herod's mountaintop fortress where Jewish rebels made their last stand. It's a really breathtaking panoramic view. You go up by cable car, and you get to take a dip in the Dead Sea. Treat yourself to a little bit of a spa day, as it were. That's $75. You'll be with Mick. You'll be on a tour bus just like we are every other day. So they'll take care of you for that. There's information about that down below here and the link to register. They want us to register at least 14 days before our trip happens. If you want to do that, I'd just go ahead and do it now. And then also on your email is the option for a dinner with an Israeli family. This would be a Jewish family living in Jerusalem. You get the opportunity to learn local customs, particularly their Sabbath customs and food that they consume on the Sabbath because they can't cook on the Sabbath. And that's $55 a person. Not listed in your email were two other enhancements that I talked about. The Jerusalem Sound and Light Show, that might not happen for our trip. I don't think it's a big deal. It was something fun to do. It was $20. It got you out of the hotel for a little bit. You're not missing anything that's going to be life-changing for you if that's not offered. What is not in your email and will be offered, so be looking for another email, is dinner with a Palestinian Christian family living in Bethlehem. There's a video down below from my friends, the Shomalis. I had dinner in their house 4 years ago. Met their daughters We've maintained a great relationship, had dinner with them again last time, looking forward to meeting with them again. And they just want to welcome you to the Holy Land and invite you to participate in this dinner. Gives us an opportunity to learn what it's like living in Palestine. We see a lot of pro-Israel stuff there. They're not shy about talking about some of the political situations that are going on there and what's really happening versus what the media shows. And it's just a great time to realize. I think a lot of times when we think of Palestine, we think Islam, particularly radical Islam, and we forget that there are Christians living in Palestine, and they are the minority. And many of them are living in very humble circumstances. They are an oppressed minority in the Holy Land. These are our brothers and sisters, and this is an opportunity to support them, to bless them by meeting with them, and to learn about their heritage. So when that comes, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you avail yourself of that excursion, that enhancement, and do that. It's typically cheaper than what the Israeli dinner is. I think it was $40 a person last time. It'll have a price on it when it comes. It looks like everybody's paid. Everybody's passport information is in. I've dropped the information down below again about our flight schedules. Those who are originating in Chicago, that is your flight schedule. Because I was able to see what my flight schedule was. If you're originating elsewhere, you may or may not be routed through Chicago. It sounds like the plan right now is that those who are departing from Texas, St. Louis, Arizona, will be routed through Chicago and then be on the same flight as everyone else. We have a couple of guys a couple of brothers who are journeying with us who will be going from Pennsylvania. And it sounds like y'all may be flying United Airlines on a direct flight from New Jersey to Tel Aviv. We'll get there about the same time. We won't know all of those details until that post, hopefully pretty quick after the first of the year. We'll have those full flight schedules, so we know. Nothing to worry about with any of that, whether you're on the same flight as everyone else out of Chicago or not. Everyone will get there at approximately the same time, within an hour of one another, and the bus won't go anywhere without you. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them my way. I'm getting really excited. This is all I've been thinking about, which is interesting, getting ready for Christmas and all of that. But been spending a lot of time planning out worship at many of these sites and devotions for them, and just some other fun for us while we're there in the land of our Lord. If I don't send another email out, I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll see you January 29th. God bless. See ya.